Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I thought we'll do a good old-fashioned product review. I'm gonna throw a few of these in occasionally, just because there's products I really want to try, and what's the point of me buying stuff if I'm not like doing a full review? First things first, excuse this eye. I have this dry patch right here, so I've had to use a different eye primer, which I'm sure will be fine. We are reviewing the Beauty Bay Smokey palette, the 42 color palette. I love Beauty Bay's own formula eyeshadow. They are some of the best. I would go as far to say the best. Not necessarily the best formula I've ever used, but the best because of the price and how they are. Like, they are incredible for the price. I would, if somebody said you can never have any more eyeshadows ever, you can only use one brand, it would be the Beauty Bay own brand. Now, I did purchase this myself. I don't think I've ever been gifted an eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bay. Just before we get into it, please do give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. Subscribe and leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment algorithm. It always helps. Okay, so this is the inside of the palette. This to some people, I'm holding it up on camera, I'm like, okay, this does look kind of boring, but actually, I love gray. I love gray, I love beige, different tones of gray, different tones of beige, and you can see that each one is very slightly different in terms of the grays. And if you've never used one of these massive Beauty Bay palettes before, there's 42 shades in here, and it's about £25, $25. So it really is the biggest bargain ever. And they also do sets on Beauty Bay. Like, you can get like 3 of the big ones for like a discount price. And then they also do a smaller version of these big ones. So if you're looking at this and thinking, I don't need all that, there is a 16 color palette which you can get, which they do in all their different options as well. So let's just go ahead and make a look with this. Now, I do see a purple in there, so I am very tempted to use the purple. Nightmare. Yes, if nightmares were a color, it would be purple. That is stunning. Okay, so, let's do a cut crease. It's been a long time since I've cut the crease. Some of the grays in this are quite bluey toned. Some of them are a little bit more browny grays, a bit more purpley grays. I kind of want to stick to monochromatic, like straight up gray, but I mean, like this has a slightest hint of purple. Let's just fuck it. Purple grays, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna start with the shade Suede, which is this beautiful gray purple. And let's use this to add some structure. This is my dry eye around here, so apologies if we get a bit crusty. So although this is like, you know, smoky, it isn't pure black and white, which is quite nice. When I opened it initially, I was kind of like, just then on camera, I was kind of like, oh, okay. It's actually kind of flat, but the further you look into it, we have this, like the 2 rows on top, which I guess you can call the grays, the beiges, this 2 middle rows, which are all like these beautiful shimmers, and then the bottom row, which looks like these deeper, I guess like purple grays. I'm gonna take this higher than usual, right? Oh my god, I can't believe how dry. So this is coming out slightly deeper than what I would have expected in the palette. I thought it was gonna be a little bit lighter, but we're good, don't worry. So let's map out this. What I'm gonna do first with a cut crease is map out the shade. And we need to bring this all the way in, because we want that nice, like almost like halo around the cut crease. And since 2016 makeup is coming back, because that's like a vintage time period now, why not do a cut crease, right? Okay, so we've laid down that shape where we want to go, where we want to follow. I need to fill that in a tiny bit more here. Like, it's so dry, I can feel how tight it is. I'm gonna go into the Mitchell color cases. These are really good for situations where you just need a random color. This one is quite gray toned, although it's kind of like bluey in a lot of ways. I'm gonna go for, I think this, no, it's kind of greeny gray. Yeah, let's go for the lighter one just here. I'm gonna use a few drops of Duraline from Inglot, which is basically like a mixing medium that will make it a lot more easier and malleable. And I'm just gonna go in with oh, this is from Inglot too, a really flat brush, just so we can get that detail on the sides. Cut crease, we want it to show, so I'm keeping my face rested. I'm not doing this, I'm keeping it rested. And I'm mapping out where my cut crease is gonna go when my eyes are open. Like so, easy peasy. And then we can just fill in the rest. And to blend in the cut crease, I'm literally gonna tap along the joint. Tap, 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 tap. Honestly, with the dry skin, it's like, please stop putting things on me. Nice fade. Okay, that's... Just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm putting like one little drop off of the Duraline into the color case directly, only because I use this only on myself. And I'll leave it to dry out before I put the lid on, and then just put my brush in and making it into a paint, basically. These color cases are absolutely incredible. They're just so, what's the word? Handy. Okay, now I need to try and get this symmetrical, bear with. When we're trying to get things symmetrical, don't go in and try and get the exact shape first. Start a little bit lower, and then you can build up and up and up if you need to. So I'm gonna start a little bit lower down here. Create the shape that I think will work, and that is symmetrical. And obviously no, it needs to come up higher, so now we can bring it up a little bit more. But had we gone too high in the first place, it would have been too late. No fixing, you know? That will do, and then we can tap that in. And I'm making sure I'm not going right up to the corner there because I don't want to ruin what I've done. I've actually taken this side further across, so I'm gonna add a tiny bit to here and then tap it across. God, my dry skin is suffering. Okay, all right. And then I'm gonna put this aside to dry out until it's completely dry. Then I can put it back on. Ooh, dog's barking. Now, ideally what we want to do is do a darker matte into like a medium or a shimmer, and then almost match this color up with a powder. I'm gonna go into this deep navy blue. It's called Tuxedo. And I'm just gonna tap that onto the outside corner. And we want to angle like this because we want to follow the shape of a cut crease. You see what I mean? So everything's going in this direction. Look how good. Let's see how that lifts. And then we can start to pull that up. I'm gonna cut off with concealer as well, but also we're gonna bring the bottom waterline into that corner. So don't worry too much about having that straight up, like good straight away. That doesn't make sense, you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm patting down here, but then I'm also joining the end of the actual cut crease to that blue. And just same again on the other side. Cute. Okay, let's get a shimmer on there. I'm thinking Frost because it's that really nice light bluey silver. So it'll be nice going from that navy into the white. No, actually, let's do the white first because then I want to put the shimmer over. So let's go into Snow, which is just matte white. But you know what? No, sorry. Let's go into Clouds because it's that grey white, which I actually think the product we used to the cut crease is more that grey white. It's not pure white, you know what I mean? But just putting a powder on top of this, I mean, it looks fine without it, but it just gives it a little bit more of a softer. Can you see how it just appears a little bit softer, a little bit smoother than this side? I like it, I like it. Okay, shimmer, let's do Frost. I'm gonna try a little bit with my finger first because honestly, the shimmers in these palettes are beautiful. Is that, okay, no, let's do it. It's the only issue with doing it with your fingers is they kind of like spread everywhere, you know what I mean? Okay, I think I actually want to put some on a brush and just double pack it on. So I can get a very dense, fluffy brush. This is the Singe Beauty E04. It's raining so heavy, can you hear that? And I'm just gonna go, you can see I kind of slightly ruined that blue shape a little bit. I'm just gonna go back on top. Not with extra, just with what's left on my brush. Just tap over just to kind of recreate that shape. I am tempted to go in with a bit of black on the outside corner, but we'll see how we feel after the look. Okay, so done under the eye. I actually think I want to add a little bit of that black in the outside corner. I think this is looking a bit flat and needs a bit more depth. So they have a black in the corner called Tattoo, which I'm just gonna add, keeping to that kind of like angle just here. And a little bit on this outside corner here too. Okay, so I'm gonna put some lashes, finish up the full face, and we'll be back. Okay, this is the finished look with the Beauty Bay Smokey palette. I really, really like it. Like most Beauty Bay palettes, or really all of them. I think through first impressions, it looks kind of like not basic, but perhaps like there's not a lot of choice, there actually really is a lot of choice with looks after a closer inspection. For example, you have like these more like beigey kind of shimmers over here. Purples are in there too. It's a really beautiful palette to do smoky eyes with. I mean, that's why they call it smoky, but to do like that smoky look with, because you have all these grays that complement each other, browns that complement the grays, and all the colors together look amazing. If you're one of these people that struggles with, you know, you do a smoky eye look and actually it ends up looking muddy, that can come from mixing up strange undertones within browns, because, you know, browns have green undertones, grays have green undertones. So it can come from mixing like greens and red undertones and all this other stuff. This palette has it all kind of set out for you. You can't really go wrong because all of these tones sit well together. So if you're struggling with muddiness, I think this is a really great palette to go for. In general, I really like their palettes, even if you just go for the smaller one. Yeah, let me know your opinions down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Consider subscribing. If you want more like single product reviews like this one, do let me know down below. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye.